In Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Tom Cruise runs and runs and runs a little more and then a little more. There are car chases, fights, duels, sacrifices, heartfelt moments, humor that mostly lands, and characters we love. But make no mistake, this is a Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie show. They both have been collaborating in movies like Jack Reacher, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, Fallout, Edge of Tomorrow, Top Gun Maverick, and now on Dead Reckoning Part 1. And they will return with Dead Reckoning Part 2. I think this actor director duo might be one of my favorites of all time. No one talks about the sheer volume of excellent action movies they have delivered together, and Dead Reckoning Part 1 is no different. This is a slick, smart action movie that keeps upping itself as the movie reaches its end. It starts off with one of the best opening sequences of 2023, clearly establishing the stakes of the mission. The premise revolving around the mysterious entity raises more questions than answers, and that is a good thing. You are never sure of what the entity looks like, and it feels very relevant to what people are talking about in terms of AI. Of course, there is a villain who has a face called Gabriel. He is menacing and has a screen presence, although he could have been fleshed out a little more. He came across as a Bond villain, and that is not a bad thing. I hope he gets to do more in Dead Reckoning Part 2. I was more hooked in this movie in terms of story than any other Mission Impossible movie, partly because of what they were fighting against. There is more mystery and suspense. Of course, there are action set pieces centered around the world, and as the movie progresses, they keep getting better and bigger and wilder. But I think the one which I enjoyed the most was a simple duel involving Rebecca Ferguson. When you see the movie, you will know exactly what I am talking about. Rebecca Ferguson has always been one of my favorite characters in the Mission Impossible movies, and she leaves an impression even though her screen time is pretty less. I could say the same about Sean Penn and Ving Rhames characters. I wish we got a little more of them. But Haley Atwell surprised me so much with her screen presence and charisma. She never overshadowed Tom Cruise, but she was right there with him. I loved her story arc in the movie. And then there is Tom Cruise, doing what he must, single handedly trying to get people into the theaters. He puts his all in every frame that he's in. Not just his commitment to performing real life stunts, but his acting in those action sequences is often overlooked. The movie has a tall task of generating profit because of its insane budget of $300 million minus the marketing. It would need to make around $600 million worldwide just to break even. I'm guessing that it will end up making around 800 million, but it really deserves more. Tom Cruise deserves more, and I hope it legs out to around 900 million, which would be a fantastic result and the best in the franchise. I'm going to give Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 a solid 4 out of 5. The movie could have been 20 minutes shorter, the villain could have been a bit more fleshed out, and there were a couple of nitpicks in terms of plot conveniences, but those are so minor that I don't even want to mention those. These do hold the film back from reaching the heights that John Wick Chapter 4 did or Rogue Nation did, which is my favorite Mission Impossible movie, but it is right up there and is even better in some aspects. See this one on the biggest screen possible and you won't be disappointed.